What's the deal, YouTube? It's your girl, Miss Honey. What we are here today for is season 7, Walking Dead. Oh, sorry, season 7A, Walking Dead, Miss Honey's synopsis. So yesterday I binged watched all 8 episodes. And before I even get started, okay, let me just go ahead and ask a couple of questions. Raise your hand if you were sick of Negan by the second episode. Okay, all right. Raise your hand if you thought Negan and his imps, the Neganites, had way too much friggin' dialogue this season. Oh, okay. All right. Mm-hmm. This has not been my favorite season. I've seen bloodier seasons. I do think that the this couple of seasons with the jail, them being in the jail, was equal as bloody, if not more bloody than season 7. Remember, we had beheadings and you know, sons killing mamas in the jail. So we can always expect this sort of cutthroat, balls to the walls type of graphic violence from Walking Dead. I think it adds to its appeal, although, you know, in the current climate we live in, I don't know, for me, it was just a little too close to home. Watching season 7, you guys tell me if it made you guys think about the current political climate here in America at all. That's all I'm going to say. You just put it down in the comments below. If anytime during this season it made you think about the current political climate and current status outcome of elections here in the United States. Okay? So, season 7 synopsis. Of course, it's 8 episodes. I can't review all 8 episodes because I've been binge watched them. You guys have already seen them. You guys have already seen tons of reviews about them. So, I'm going to do a quick synopsis. I will do the good, the bad, and the ugly. Let's get into it. Okay, good. Hands down, King Ezekiel. Sorry, thought he was beautiful. Thought his tiger was beautiful. I thought his conversation was beautiful. I thought his language and his vocabulary was everything. I thought that his honesty and really sort of transparent conversation with Carol was beautifully done. And I am here for King Ezekiel, and I would love to see his lion have Negan for dinner. Rosita. I thought Rosita was one of the really, really great characters this first half of the season. I hope she survives the remainder of the season. I enjoyed seeing. I love Rosita because she was so brave and so strong, And, she was loyal, a trooper, like full on. She went into self survival mode, and I can respect Rosita for that, okay? Um, Morgan. I like Morgan. I think Morgan has resolved himself to not use his violence unless he has to. I think he is probably going to be one of the deadliest assets outside of Carol in season 7B. We need Carol back, y'all, but we're gonna get into that. Um, I love the little girls at the beach. I thought that was really, really nice. I love seeing the little girls. Um, I was thrown off a little bit about the camp full of lesbians. I was just like, I don't think there was ever any men in this. Was there ever any men on this? I don't. It had a heavy lesbian feel to it. Maybe the people in the camp weren't gay, but the people playing the people in the camp, the actors, actresses, seem a little. I thought that was great. Okay. The zombie canoeing, I thought that was uh, one of the better scenes for this season. It reminded me of vintage Walking Dead, uh, Rick and the crew against the zombies. Um, and it's the Walking Dead I fell in love with. Let's see what else. Another good was Michonne and Daryl. Michonne and Daryl, listen, don't start none, won't be none. I love how we could see Michonne's strength building without dialogue, without a whole lot of conversation. I love the scene where she's walking down the middle of the road whistling and she is calm, baby. She is calm. I love a good, strong heroine. Okay? Everything. I was glad when she gave that gun up because, baby, she belongs, the sword belongs in her hand. Okay? She needs her saber, y'all. Okay? There, when Negan went to swing at Daryl and he didn't flinch, I was like, boy, you got to get all of this good love. Oh yeah, that was a huge turn on. That was a huge turn on. It's one of the reasons I love Daryl's character. First of all, Daryl is the reddest of rednecks. He is not a person of means. He is a person of survival, and it was apparent that he has a very strong will. He has a very strong mind, and before he before he'll be a slave, he'll be buried in his grave. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it that he was not weak and he bashed that fat boy's head in. You can't trust none of them Neganites. None of them. I don't care how bad they're treated. You can't trust them. Okay, so I love the fact that Michonne and Daryl were smashing heads and taking names. Okay, let's talk about the bad. The bad is Carol is still out there on trying her best to be self-involved and an islander to herself, and then she's doing a horrible job of it. Like, do you really think you finna sit in that house with your fireplace going and your fruits on the table and planter boxes in the window and not get assaulted? Are you serious? I mean, Negan people got to come right past your house. What you gonna do? Girl, come on, get your mind right, Carol. How you gonna be on your own right smack dab in the middle of everything? Girl, come on, let's do this fight. Come on, let's get this fight. Well, your people need you. Okay? I'm excited about seeing season 7B because I think it's gonna bring more Morgan and Carol back. And again, they're some of our fiercest fighters. Okay? The people who don't want to fight are the baddest fighters. That's my opinion. Hmm. The other bad was the consistent, jumpy, whiny, nervous Nelly feel that this entire season gave. It was just full of, oh, ew. I, I was just over it. I mean, and seriously, I was over it halfway through this season, through this first part of the season. I was over it. 4 episodes in, I was over it. I was equally as over the wide-eyed shock look. I'm like, what I wouldn't have came out. I don't understand. It wasn't like he required everybody to come out of their house. I wouldn't have came out. I wouldn't have. You take whatever you need out of your house. Because one, I already know I can't shut up. I already know. I already know. You smashed my head in. Of course. I got too much of this. Um, I know it was a part of the writing and scripting or whatever. I just felt like it was so like the behavior, the cliche of the day was, the please don't please. Yeah. Okay, let's move on to the ugly, shall we? Um, for me, the ugly had to be Negan and the Neganites, Negan's imps. The graphic cruelty and uh, brutality and inappropriateness and smart acidness of Negan and his Neganites. It was so overwhelming. They had so much dialogue, and I just think it was too much dialogue. To me, um, it just after a while it just seemed so far fetched. Like, how can one person control not only a whole camp full of adult males and females, but consequently all of the outside auxiliary camps? One person? I mean, it was just like every episode he was asshole of the day. And it was tiring. It was exhausting, and I'm ready for them to do away with him really, really quickly. Like I said, the other ugly part was the excessive dialogue. Like, not only Negan but his camp, the Neganites, had a lot of dialogue, and it was you know okay, the sluggish knitting. Now, what I call sluggish knitting, some people call filler episodes. I don't call it filler episodes because you typically need a little bit of what they're talking about. I call it sluggish knitting because it is this middle place episode that The Walking is a Walking Dead tradition, in that it exposes you to the characters, a little bit more about the characters. It helps expose relationships and builds relationships between characters. Some of it is nonsensical, you know, the amount of times I saw a person just sort of aimlessly walk into the woods, you know. And I was just like, what the fuck? Where are you going? What are you doing? And, and so that sluggish knitting, it does fit somewhere in the story. It's just such a sluggish process that a lot of people miss those points, and so typically, they end up a little off in the season, or they end up a little uh, in the blind spot of the show because they, wash dishes, go to the bathroom during these episodes. So you miss certain nuances, but yeah. So listen, you guys, I am here for season 7B. Um, I have to say that 7A was really, 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 really draining. Um, although it's kind of like jogging, I've gone too far to go back now. So I'm excited about seeing the outcome, the ultimate outcome of Negan and his Negan Nights. Um, I want to say too that another good that I just thought about was the whole feeding the pigs walkers thing. I thought that was really, really awesome. A good idea. I am looking forward to seeing what this gentleman who is King Ezekiel's right hand, what ultimate role he's gonna play in this great fight that's coming up. My favorite part of this entire season was seeing Michonne and Rick and Rosita and a couple of the others walk in as a team because they spent this whole season, first half of the season, splintered. So it was good to see them at the end walking in as a team and appear to be more determined than ever to fight by any means necessary. Okay, that's it for me, honeybees. Until next time, I'll holla.